Hey y'all, it's Sarah back with a super short movie review, and this one is about Portrait of a Lady on Fire. So I don't know why it took me so long to watch this movie. It had great reviews, so many people recommended it and just thought it was such a beautiful film. Although I don't have anything against like romantic period films, y'all know that horror, science fiction, fantasy, action, those are more my favorite genres. But I do occasionally like a good historical drama like My Cousin Rachel, Emma, Portrait of a Chambermaid. And I especially love movies that are about artists. So writers, painters, whatever. I like to see how they discovered their art, what interests them about it, what their mediums are, and how that is portrayed in film. Like one of my favorite films that is the best example of this to me is Frida with Salma Hayek. That it's gorgeous, it's so energetic, and it actively involves a lot of her paintings, matches the paintings to pivotal points in her life, but that's a biopic, and that's not what this is. Portrait of a Lady on Fire is about a young artist who is tasked with painting a portrait of a young woman who is to be married. Before the marriage can be confirmed, his family wants to receive a portrait of her. Well, first of all, it is beautiful. It is very moving. If you don't like slow-paced movies, if you don't like to read subtitles, or if you don't like movies that have a lot of quiet ambient noise, like natural sounds like footsteps, creaking floors, fabric, things like that, this is not the movie for you. That's one of the first things that I noticed about it. The opening scene is the artist as a teacher posing for her students, and I guess it's a female only class, and someone, I think one of her students, uncovers a painting of the Lady on Fire, and I guess it stirs memories in her of that time. It wasn't what I thought it was gonna be, number one. A part of me wanted them to like run off into the sunset together, you know. It was very clear from the beginning of the movie that this is not that kind of movie. This is very much grounded in reality. Although, you know, this came out a few years ago, I don't want to spoil too many things for you. There's a lot of really quiet, beautiful moments in this film. As an artist, as a painter, the two biggest things that she does is listen and observe. There's not a lot of dialogue exchanged between them. It's often nonverbal communication and very subtle. And it's like the camera is waiting, is doing the exact same thing, where it's waiting and observing the exchanges. These nonverbal but energetic exchanges between the two of them. And in this empty house with these huge empty rooms, which are very grand and large but empty, the characters sort of fill the space that they inhabit wherever they are because it is so quiet and it is so empty. The servant, the maid, she is going through her own thing, and you learn a bit about her personally as the story goes on, because she is, I guess, having an affair with someone and is dealing with the consequences of that. Everything that happens is very immediate and in the moment. There is no like planning for the future. It is very much present. There is nothing else that is happening outside of this very small closed environment that they're all in. And for much of the movie, you don't even see the mother again. It's just the painter the servant, and the lady. Occasionally, when they do interact with other people, it clearly means so much to the characters that you take notice of so many details around, you know, the music or people speaking or footsteps or the sounds of the water lapping or tree branches rubbing against each other or the sound of the paintbrush. There's really a focus on the senses in this film. As far as the story is concerned, I thought it was perfect. I thought it was a perfect way to tell the story from the perspective of the painter. Their lives were taking them in two different directions. Her life is headed more into her work. So her life, because she's not on a traditional path, I think a little lonelier. It would make more sense that her thoughts are often turned to the past, because as a painter, she is relying on her recall to paint. In the same way, she has recalled moments from her time there and working there and recreated them through her art, because that's what she has access to. If this was from the perspective of the lady, then it would just be from memory, and I don't think it would have the same effect, the same nostalgia, considering the direction that her life was taking, which is the more traditional route where she's to be married and have children and be a mother, and her life would be full of all of the things that would come with that. Whereas the painter is able to focus on her work and teaching. I think it's a beautiful film. If you're someone who enjoys listening to movies like I do, I'm not going to say obsessed, I'm not going to say that, but I do like to listen to films, and especially if the composition of sounds and music is very good, like The Hours. Oh, the piano, excellent. I think A Portrait of a Lady on Fire I enjoy because of a lot of the ambient sounds and the focus on natural noises, especially in this huge grand house with very little. It's sort of at odds with everything to see these like grand ladies in these huge formal gowns, and there's no furniture. It's very spare. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was beautiful, beautifully shot. The story is very engaging and subtle and emotional. This situation is so unusual. I highly recommend it. So hope you guys enjoyed this super short movie review on Portrait of a Lady on Fire, and I'll see you guys next time.